Hi, welcome to the LGBTQ review, where Beth and I review LGBTQIA plus content. Today we are looking at East is East.
Lovely.
Assalamu alaikum, Mr. Shah.
Tarek, don't go! Maybe you'll be satisfied with just one of us getting married.
Ah! The patches are here!
Sorry about him, Mr. Shah. It's just been circumcised.
What are you doing here, Abdul? It's my stag night. I'm getting married.
You too.
Don't know. My dad hasn't bothered introducing us yet.
Is it these two? You're lucky you two, aren't you? Bleeding gorgeous.
We're just like Romeo and Juliet.
It's not fair because I love curry and all.
And how old are you?
Not old enough to get married, so don't ask me.
The 1999 comedy drama film written by Ayub Khan-Din and directed by Damien O'Donnell, based on the 1996 autographical play of the same name. East is East is often cited as one of the key works to bring Asian culture to mainstream British audiences. The play opened in Birmingham and went on to have 3 sellout London runs, which is pretty good, and it was nominated for a Olivier Award. So the play focuses on a Pakistani British family, a Pakistani father and a white British mother, and their kids in Salford in the 1970s. So it's got the backdrop of Enoch Powell and all the conservative racism. So the film opens with Nazir running out of his arranged marriage, and then it's not really about him at all.
The bit that I guess would be relevant to this YouTube channel is like quite minimal, but I kind of forgot what that character had like even been in it for a long time, and then when he came back I was like, oh yeah, I see why you're reviewing it. I've not seen this film before. I liked it a lot. It was really
Really?
good. Isn't that weird?
Oh my god. I saw it so much when I was little. Also, they don't say he's gay, do they? I thought it was a lot more overt. Like, from being a child, I remember it being a lot more overt than it actually is. Even when they ask who that man is, he's like, he's my boss. In my mind, it was overt, and it was good because they still talk to him. Sure, he has to move away, and they have to like sneak out to a phone box as a family without the father to talk to him. But that was like quite happy because they still love him. But in the film, it's not really like that, is it? Like, sure, they still love him and they sneak out to talk to him, but even when he comes back to help, she's like, no, you've got to leave immediately.
I did like when they were driving away, they both duck, even though he's driving.
So there's only a massive dog at the back of the car.
Yeah, the dog is just like being toured around with like roll voice.
I love this film so much.
It's a feel-good film, but shouldn't be. Like, watching it is quite like horrific, but yet it is like, I feel pretty good after watching it. It's like quite uplifting.
I know that it's not this overtly because it's more about the like conflicting immigrant experience and hypocrisy. So like the father marries a white British woman, but he is making all of his sons marry Pakistani girls.
Yeah.
But it feels a bit like an exploration of masculinity and like toxic masculinity and stuff, because you feel sad for their father sometimes, and like the way that the wife talks about him with her best friend. They're like, oh, he just gets angry. Isn't he cute? They
do, which I think was like to make the domestic abuse more shocking, which I felt like it was more shocking because they do make him out to be like, oh, he's like grumpy and like all this, but really he's like lovely and he's fine and he's like loving when he's by himself. But then obviously like all the domestic abuse happens.
In the sons and the little boys, they're all presented in like interesting ways of masculinity, which I think is quite nice.
Yeah, it's definitely interesting comparing all the sons and the dad, because the only one that seems happy or like liberated in a way is the oldest son, who leaves and is like himself. When he does come back, the eldest, I quite like that they make it out to be like it's going to be like this big thing, because being like the eldest child, all the other siblings look up to him and they kind of expect him to sort stuff out, and then he just doesn't, and has to leave ducking in a car and that's the last we see of him. And it's quite heartbreaking for us, and also like obviously like the two that are going to get married.
The father is played by Puri, who is in White Teeth and loads of other things, so many other things. I just picked my favourite. Linda Bassett plays Ella, the mum. She's in Cool Midwife and Dinner Ladies and the original play of this. She's great. They're both great. They're all great. I like the cast very much. Nazir is played by Ian Aspinall, who's been in all the TV, EastEnders and that. Jimmy Mystery plays Tony. When I was little, I had a crush on Jimmy Mystery. Although in this, he's like supposed to be sexy, isn't he? But when I had a crush on him, it was like after this, and he was, I can't remember, I don't know what he was in. Maybe he was in EastEnders for like 5 minutes. Archie Punjabi plays Mina, and she's in Bend It Like Beckham and The Good Wife and like all TV ever.
She was 26 when she did this, which I read. And she's playing a 14-year-old.
Well, she does look 14 though, doesn't she?
Yeah, I would not have guessed her age at all. It did not stand out.
John Barden plays the racist man across the road. He's Jim in EastEnders.
Lots of EastEnders and Coronation Street stars pop up in this. I enjoy.
Yeah. Ruth Jones plays Peg. She's in Gavin and Stacey. That's one of my least favourite bits of the film are the reoccurring fat jokes, and then there's like a joke about eating. I thought, these fat jokes are my least favourite thing, and then there was the eating joke quite near to the end, and I was like, oh no, it's outdone itself. That's my least favourite thing. Leslie Nichol plays Auntie Annie, who is in Downton Abbey and is Butcher's mum in The Boys the other day.
Good cast. For British films, they always have like a really good, I always feel like they have like a good ensemble cast.
A lot of the cast were in the play as well. It had a budget of 1.9 million and it made 10 million at the box office. Cinematographer Brian Toffano also did Billy Elliot and Trainspotting.
He is British film.
I think Trainspotting would argue that it's a Scottish film.
Yeah, it would, yeah.
I really like the portrayal of the family unit in this. It's very relatable.
Being a single child, what is relatable?
I still have a family unit.
Yeah.
Right? It's made up of a more extended family than brothers and sisters.
The drawing of the penis, right? I was reading that they hired an artist to draw the penis. Artist drew it, but then he drew a really terrible penis because he was circumcised and had never seen a penis. So then just someone on set had to draw it. And it's a terrible picture for someone who's at like art college. It's not good.
I appreciate that they've tried to shade it.
Yeah. I will rate this 4.4 buckets of pee.
I will rate it 4.5 secret sausages.
That's what we thought. Let us know what you thought in the comments below, and you can like and subscribe, and you can follow us on Twitter at LGBTQ_review.